just reply to Jessica really quick. Yeah, just type in. Let me just watch 3 reels. Just 3. Just 3, not much.
3 hours later.
Wow, I should definitely stop. Like, I should really stop. It's so bad for me to stop. I can't be the only one. How did just 3 reels turn into 3 hours of scrolling? If there's something about me, I feel like I truly despise short form content because after all the things I've learned about it online, there are just too many downsides and it's impossible to like. Yet I find myself doing it so much. If I'm being truly honest with myself, I don't hate it. I feel like I truly despise short form content because I just said I hate it. Because what's not to like? Just so many dopamine hits. It feels good. I can say it feels good. But it feeling good doesn't make it necessarily good for us. The first step I can give you is to learn to stop yourself, because the longer you stay, the worse you'll feel. You see, what usually happens is when you scroll, even with me, you're like, well, I'm already here, why not just keep going? And we all know too well that that thing doesn't have an end. Though I've been seeing those videos where people scroll to the end of Reels, scroll to the end of Shorts, scroll to the end of TikTok very often. And that type of videos become very common these days, but I've never clicked on one, so I don't know if there is an end. And if there is, before you actually get there, how long would you have taken? You need to understand the longer you wait, the worse you'll feel after. So you need to learn to stop yourself as soon as possible. What I like to do is you stare up at the ceiling, then you switch off your phone. Just leave as soon as possible. The goal is to stop as soon as possible. Don't even think about it. Another thing that helps is to create friction or some type of barrier. Because, you see, the moment when you have free time, we often find ourselves grabbing our phones and you just find yourself there. Like, it's automatic at this point. So you want to make it as hard as possible to do this, because James Clear talks about it in his book Atomic Habits, where basically you want to make bad habits as unattractive as possible. So with scrolling, for example, what you can do, be it getting an app blocker or a website blocker, or logging off, or using the website version of an app, just try to make it as hard as possible to access that app. Personally, what I do is, after I reply on Instagram, I usually log off. It might sound weird, but it helps me, because now whenever I have free time anymore, I click the app and you have to log in, and you don't even know if you remember your password. It just becomes hard and you're like, what's the point? And sometimes I do reply on my laptop because I'm less likely to scroll them. And if you're scrolling on a laptop, if you can't control yourself and you're scrolling on a laptop, I genuinely fear you, because I genuinely. But what you want to do is make it as unappealing as possible. The third thing I could say is schedule in something that's enjoyable to you. And if it aligns with your goals, then even better. If you're trying to learn a language, then during your free time you can watch a show you really like in your target language, and that's another source of happiness. Most of the time when you're scrolling, you can't tell me you're happy, like you do that as a hobby. You have lots of time. You've been given 2 hours free time, and out of every possible thing you can do, you choose to scroll. Most of the time when you use it to escape reality, let's just be real. At least I did. That's what I used to do. Schedule in something fun later, because schedule in a much more valuable source of happiness and entertainment than that. Because short form content has so many downsides. If I start listing them, that'll be a whole other video. So what I like to do is, there are obviously other things that make you happy. Maybe it's watching long form videos that are better and helpful to you. Personally, I like J-dramas. I genuinely love J-dramas, and I'm happy when I watch them. And you see, at least they make me happier. And they're a better source of happiness for me, and I'm able to enjoy them when I'm done with my work. As for scrolling, I can't even remember the last reel I watched. So you need to go for a higher source of happiness. And once you schedule that in, then you're more likely to wait and delay, because you know something way more valuable is coming later that you can genuinely enjoy. These tips can be applied in literally breaking any habit. They can be applied in any breaking any bad habit, because it doesn't have to specifically be scrolling. I just use scrolling because that's the problem I've been facing recently. And if I'm being completely honest, I procrastinated the script the whole day because of scrolling. So how ironic. By writing down these 3 things, it made it clear to me. So even when I was procrastinating and staring at my script, like, so now that I've made a whole video on it, I'm pressured to apply my own tips, and you're holding me accountable, and I'll hold you accountable if you want. So keep thriving.